Hello, everybody. Welcome to Legacies of Caine. Yep, we're gonna play with some Vampire the Masquerade. So, just to jump into where we are, everybody had their amazing and fantastic meeting of a new character, Emil, last time, and they decided to go to Germany in search of Marie, which got them into, unfortunately, German politics in Berlin, which they're embroiled in quite a way, and they've come up with a new plan. So apparently, in order to get a meeting with Marie, they have to get a meeting with Nefertiti, who wants a gorilla.
Yes.
Yep. And so that's where we're at. Stealing a gorilla. I mean, acquiring a gorilla.
Mm-hmm. And it has to be done very soon, or else I would just buy one.
I mean, I feel like you're gonna probably buy one anyway at some point in time.
I don't need a gorilla. It's not going to help my business ventures at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, not planning on it.
Well, that's good. Anyway, so why don't we go around the group and see how they're doing for the characters? We'll start with Nathan. How's Nathan doing?
Nathan is going to bring up to his team immediately that they should probably talk to the prince first before doing any guerrilla thievery. Because the prince specifically said he doesn't want us to cause any trouble, and I'm pretty sure that giving somebody a gorilla from the zoo counts as trouble.
I mean,
especially since it also involves bugging that same gorilla so that another faction can get information from the gorilla obtaining faction. And that really sounds like messing with politics to me. And messing with the balance of the city.
Can agree with that. Because frankly, we're kind of in a lose-lose situation. Because if either one finds out something about the other, we will probably lose out on what we're trying to achieve. So.
Yep. So yeah, that's about where I am.
Yep. Dawn, how about you?
Dawn is very excited for her first trip to a zoo in years.
There you go.
Whether she's stealing a gorilla or not, she's gonna be happy.
Emil, how about you?
Yeah. Well, until Nathan brings that up in-game, I am probably, at this point, thinking, how can we play both sides?
Good point. Alright, so... Yep. You just met with the Nosferatu. Of course, you met with Ellison Humboldt, who informed you about this entire thing, and effectively delivered what you needed to Melidia Wallenberg for you. And has set you up on this mission. Of course, he has your contacts with the Bonsam Sabu, who is still probably waiting for you in that church, as far as you know.
Sure.
I mean, he could have left, but, probably not.
Probably not.
What's your
So,
plan
guys,
now? Yeah.
all that stuff I said just a minute ago.
That's a better idea than what I was thinking.
Oh? What were you thinking?
I was still thinking about it.
All right.
You're not wrong.
Well,
Here's
if
a
you have
better
any
idea than
ideas,
that.
yeah, of course. If you do have
I was
any
just thinking
ideas,
about figuring out how to play both sides. I didn't quite get there yet. Like maybe do a double spy thing where we go and tell them what they were trying to do, but then offer the gorilla and then make it look like we were trying to give it to them. I don't know.
Well, So the obvious solution is to provide the gorilla with the bugs to the Nosferatu, and let the Nosferatu know that the gorilla is bugged, so that they can provide whatever information they feel is best serving of them to the others. Oh wait, the Nosferatu were the ones.
Yeah, the Nosferatu's the ones
giving the gorilla.
Yeah,
Right. So the followers of Set let them know that the bugs are present, so that they can provide whatever information they like, and then leave, and then the Nosferatu will have seen us give this gorilla to the followers of Set. The followers of Set will know that we have given them information about the Nosferatu, and that would effectively accomplish your goal. However, I still think we should see the prince first, as either way, we're probably going to upset the balance somehow.
Like
Fair.
we usually do.
Yes, we usually do upset various things. All right. So, shall we? So I'm gonna call and request a meeting with the prince.
Okay.
And I'm also going to attempt to schmooze. Because I got 3 dots in politics, and I want to try and figure out, like, who owns the zoo, and who sort of where the balance is right now between followers of Set and Nosferatu, that kind of thing. Just like very vague, like who's on top right now, or that kind of thing.
Okay, so you're just trying to find out. You're contacting the prince, trying to find out like kind of how the balance of power acts a little bit too.
No, I'm trying to set up a meeting with the prince, so that we can go talk to him, and then schmoozing with like whatever other people there are around while we wait for the meeting.
Yeah. All right, then, Nathan, I want you to roll me a manipulation etiquette roll. Then we'll say so. You can set up the meeting with the prince pretty easily. That's not a problem. But if you want to like schmooze some of the other people around, that would be what I want you to roll for.
Not politics to learn what the balance is.
Well, this is trying to get the information. Let me see here. I have to figure out what the politics rule would mean for you off the top of my head, which is not a good politics. Politics. There we go. Politics would be more understanding what you get, we'll say. So you'll have to make a politics a politics we'll say politics wits roll afterwards. The first one is how much you can schmooze people into getting information.
Gotcha. Okay. So manipulation etiquette.
Yes.
Woo! I have both those things. And can I use my speciality in being persuasive?
Sure. This sounds like a good time to be persuasive.
Awesome. It didn't help me at all, but I still did good.
Okay, and then roll me the wits politics afterwards.
Yes.
Okay. You managed to definitely schmooze up with a lot of the folks there. A few of them speak some English, others it's a little harder to communicate with. But you can find a few folks that can give you some ideas, and you begin to understand a little bit about the structure of the city. Just a little bit. So things that you know. About a decade ago, because of everything that had been going on with the Blood Curse and Waldberg's sire, the Camarilla attempted to oust him from power, basically as a whole. and replace him. There's a Malkavian in the city that was going to replace him. The thing is, it was because of his connection with Ellison that Wallenberg was able to stay in power. So he was able to basically use a deeper connection with Ellison. The connection with Ellison, for as far as you know, started then. It's hard to say if that really is when it actually started, because you know that you can hear that there are 3 elders that have been in the city and have influenced the city heavily.
Okay.
One of them is, of course, Melita Wallenberg, who's effectively the person that is the front person for her is Ellison Humboldt.
Okay.
She's more classical in control, but she was, as far as you can hear, more last that was heard, she was actually in Topor. The rumor was, since some of the damage during World War II. If she's actually awake now or not, no one really knows. The other one, of course, is Nefertiti, who's been attempting to rule Europe, basically, in a way, from the shadows. She is interesting because she's very forceful and uses very destructive means in order to get her way, you could say. There are some rumors going around that she's been attempting to work with some of the other agents in the city to gain more power basis, but as of yet has not made any powerful alliances. And you do learn that there is a third ruler, a third vampire that's thought to be in the city. You don't know a lot about. They don't know a lot about him from the rumors. It sounds, but an Eric Eigerman had basically ruled over this area until about the 11th century. Since then, it's said that he's not dead, but it's unsure when he's awake or when he's in Topor and how much influence he has. But rumor has it that he and his connections have some influence here.
Do we know what bloodline he is?
He is Ventru. And he is said to have basically ruled over the region since the Romans, leading into the Dark Ages. Is what he ruled.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why there's still rumors that he might have some tendrils in local politics, even though no one knows for sure.
So while he's looking into that, I'm gonna do a quick look into this zoo.
Sure.
We're gonna have to be doing stuff. Might as well do this. Basically, I'm gonna look into what type of security they have, security systems they have, and maybe use my contact to try and see if they know about, how that security system works.
The Berlin Zoological Gardens, oldest, best-known zoo in Germany since the 1840s.
You're actually looking at that's.
I actually looked it up a little bit. Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna find their security stuff.
Oh God, no. I mean, it's basically like security cameras, probably guards at night, things like that. There's probably some staff on hand at all times of the day, just in case something goes wrong, that they can have someone working there. There might be nocturnal species that need to be looked at over the night and things like that. There's a lot of species, and it is a zoo and an aquarium also.
Yeah, but basically I'd be looking into what security company they use. And that's why I don't think you'd have an answer, an actual answer.
Please roll me computer's intelligence, we'll say, to look all this information up.
Okay. Computer intelligence is computer. Trying to find computer on that drop-down list. There it is. What's the difficulty?
7. Yeah. You'll be able to pick up whatever kind of group works on their security, runs their security, what firm does. So.
Okay. And then I'm going to use my contacts to figure out, like, basically what type of security that security company uses, and then basically my goal is to basically then probably like roll security to figure out how to bypass that. Yeah.
It's pretty much cameras, guards, alarms on the main entrances.
Yes, but there's software that ties it all together.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking. Yeah. You roll me, wit security, we'll say. For this one.
Wit security?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's keep it difficulty 6.
Okay. Oh,
all right.
Wow. I'm doing good on my rolls today.
Yeah, you'll kind of like look into some things, and you have an idea that you think of some ways that you could overcome the software side is probably would be very difficult to do.
Of course.
Because a lot of it's probably on-site stuff with it sounds like from the way that this is built, because it is a much older zoo kind of thing, most likely the main bits of security are on-site. So if you wanted to like overcome their camera system or alarms, you might have to go on-site directly. Not that they're saying there isn't external lines in, but they're probably not built for a lot of the information you're trying to access, basically. They're not hardwired into that.
Yeah. This is why I also wanted to use my contacts of security
Mm-hmm.
to see if I could get a little bit more info.
Yeah, you have an idea of basically how to maybe overcome some stuff if you were in on the site. At least you have a general idea of what you would need to do. If you could get access to one of their... If we could get to a security terminal.
Yeah.
The problem is, you know that there are... Again, you'd have to work with the guards. It looks like there's a shift of 4 guards over evening. It is a large area.
I'm just trying... Yeah, I know. I know there's the physical guard, the human side of the stuff, but I'm trying to figure out, like, if I can get into, like, the terminal, what's the best way to basically make it look like we were never there, you know?
Yeah, you probably could erase any kind of evidence of, like, camera work and stuff like that if you could get into one of their systems. That's very definite.
And obviously there are guards and stuff, but again, we'll worry about that as the next step, but I just wanted to basically pre-roll so that my character can have, like, research and stuff.
Sure. Dawn, are you doing anything or just waiting around with Nathan?
I'm just waiting around.
She's the eye candy.
Exactly.
Are you,
She's
looking
buying
around
German
stores trying
candy.
to... I bet you're going to say I'm buying a gorilla costume.
Not yet. So far, Dawn still is a little embarrassed by that one, but if no one comes up with a better idea, she'll still do it.
Okay.
She's prepared to.
That's fair. One last question about the zoo. What time does it open and what time does it close?
Thank you for asking. Actually, it opens at 9 a.m. and closes at 6:30 p.m. Most days.
What time of year is it?
It's right now.
Winter?
Around
summer?
now. So late summer, early fall kind of thing. Getting into that.
Dang, then 6 is probably too early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's anything like here, it won't be dark until at least like 10, 11.
It looks as you know where the main entrance is, main exit. There are apparently 2 exits and entrances if you want to look into that.
Where's the gorilla cage?
The gorilla houses are if you enter the main entrance, it's to your left, and the other entrance it's to your right. Because basically, I don't know if this is north or south, but I'm just going to pretend it is. The south side is the main entrance. There's an entrance on the west side. And in between the two of them is where the large ape houses are. They actually have 4 types of apes.
You want to know what really sucks as being a vampire is I can't go during the day when they're open to figure out where the cameras are.
Yep. They have orangutans, gorillas, champinis, and bonobos.
Do we know how many gorillas are in with this particular gorilla?
Probably a family of gorillas.
Oh god, are we gonna have to fight a family of gorillas to kidnap one of them? Because they'll flank shit at you.
Not if we knock them out, we won't.
That is fair. We could chloroform a family of gorillas. Or, you know, animal tranquilizer. But chloroform is more fun.
Indeed. Although, you would be the one chloroforming them.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
you have to worry. You do have to look out, because you can quickly find out with a cursory search that they have the oldest living gorilla in the world at the zoo.
Oh no, is that the one we have to steal?
No.
We don't have to
thank
steal
God.
that one. We just need to steal a gorilla.
Yep.
We could steal that one too. And get a
Oh,
big
she just
wad
had her
of cash.
62nd birthday.
Wow.
Oh my.
Damn.
So she's older than both of you.
Yeah. Yeah, she's much older than Dawn.
Alright. Well.
Oh, the one near me is 56.
Yep.
Is there a young gorilla?
Probably. I don't know how many gorillas they have. I'm trying to figure that out, but maybe they have gorillas there. Yep. Yep.
Okay, I'm very proud of that joke, so I'm going to say it on air. Ghoul-rilla.
Oh god. Yep.
Oh no.
Nice.
Yeah. So you probably don't want to take the prime silverback, as that would be noticed. So yeah.
Well, that depends on how we take it.
It'd all be noticed.
Oh no, it would be noticed, but if it's noticed that poor old silverback is dying, and someone totes off its body...
The old silverback has passed away. The current silverback they have is a new one, and he has 5 lady friends.
Ooh.
But I get where Nathan is going with this.
So,
Because if
as far as I know, they have 7 gorillas. It could be 6. I could be misreading that, but I'm going to go for 7, because whatever. I found it out. It's fine. I was able to find this information.
So, 7 gorillas. 1 is the oldest in the world or something.
Yep.
So, if that one dies, and we are the ones that transport it out, then it will not be suspect that it's gone. We would just need to, find out how to...
And the Nosferatu did suggest something that could help you transport very old, fragile gorilla. Make it a ghoul.
Yes.
So Ghoulrilla will be an actual thing. They suggested it.
No, I know. And
Yep.
So yeah. I mean, yeah, if you want to
well,
go for...
I think we have the kernel of a plan, but let's do the political side of things first.
Yeah. So schmoozing and research have now occurred.
All right. So you'll meet with Wilhelm Waldberg again. Waldberg. Nathan. What is it that I can assist you with?
I'm experiencing a bit of a conundrum. Are we private, or are there a bunch of people around?
Oh, private.
Okay. You recall you had informed me that we should not upset any balances while we were here, correct?
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, the information we are attempting to obtain, the price is potentially balance upsetting. So I thought I would refer to you first.
What's going on here, Nathan? Maybe I can assist you.
Sure. We are looking to contact both Melita Wallenberg and Nefertiti. And Nefertiti we don't have any way of meeting with initially.
Mm-hmm.
And Melita, we have met with Ellison, and he has requested that we acquire a gorilla that they would then essentially bug and then hand to Nefertiti so that they could spy on her, which I imagine would upset the balance.
Yes and no. Let me put this thing here. As much as I don't want an open war between the forces, the followers of Set, and the Nosferatu of our city,
Mm-hmm.
the followers of Set are not in the Camarilla.
Ah.
They are independents, like the Giovanni or the Ravnos. We can influence what they do. They have to show some respect if they are in our cities. But really they are being guests in a way. And Nefertiti is one that I find a little
Calls for concern?
dangerous.
All right, so this would be a very small balance that you would more or less approve of if you knew of it, of course.
Of course, if I knew about something like this,
Oh,
and
right.
and of course, if I knew about something like this might be a way for me to gain some influence with my old friend Ellison, and therefore some influence on his side of the city. Perhaps helping to keep a certain prince in power a little longer.
Ah. Well then.
You know, Nathan, you came to the right man when you came to me with this problem of yours. I think
Excellent.
you should go through with it. But be careful not to cause a stink in your attempts to gain a gorilla. Did you have any ideas of how you're going to go about this?
Well, as we wanted to consult with you first, we have not formed a full plan. However, our thought is perhaps to fake the death of a gorilla and then carry it out as the disposal crew.
That could work. That's true.
It would also leave no questions as to why there was one less gorilla.
True. Do you have any ideas what the plans are with this gorilla?
Presumably, one of the three of us would make it a ghoul to make it more easy to transport in and out. And then we would transfer it to Ellison, who would do something with it. And then we would also transport it to Nefertiti, as she is apparently building or experimenting with various ghoulish animals.
Interesting. Well, be wise in whichever one you pick. And
whichever gorilla we pick, or whichever of the three of us we choose to ghoul it.
Probably both. And it might be
Fair.
It might be wise to think about whether or not getting in and getting the animal taken care of overnight would be easy. That would be difficult too. I don't know. I don't know much about taking care of animals or transporting them, especially over the evenings. You'll have to look into that all you want, but I'm sure you'll come up with a great plan.
Thank you for your confidence, Prince.
Oh. Yes.
Do you have any influence with those in charge of the zoo?
No.
All right. Is there anything else we can do for you before I take my leave?
Nope, that'd be fine.
Thank you very kindly for both the meeting and approval, I suppose. I hope that this works to your benefit.
Hopefully. Alright, and then he'll leave you to your plans.
Alrighty.
Yep. So what's the plan?
Alright, once we get out of the space. So, Prince says go ahead. Prince says go ahead, and we don't have to tell Nefertiti about our other activities.
That works. Makes things easier.
We're not going to upset anyone with anything?
Presumably we're going to ultimately upset Nefertiti, but hopefully she will not be aware of our part in it so much. And also, since she is focused mainly in Europe, she will have less motivation to find us in the newer world.
Yeah, so I was about to say, hopefully we don't upset... She doesn't realize we are a part of it until we are gone.
That is preferred.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go steal a gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
How are we getting into the zoo?
That is up to our new friend, Emil.
Right, well... This depends on how you, This depends on how we plan to go about, fake killing the gorilla.
Alright.
That's it. I'll figure it out after we decide.
Well, let's see. How does one go about creating a ghoul?
Feed some blood to something.
That's it?
Pretty much it.
Okay.
I gave away my last ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
Out of character, what is the difference between making a ghoul and like a kiss?
A vampire?
Whatever it's called.
Oh, the kiss is supposed to be drinking blood, basically. That's
okay,
what it's
kiss drinking blood. What's the difference between making a ghoul and a vampire?
When you make a ghoul, you give something that still has blood in it some of your blood. The other way is draining all their blood. Ghouling is very successful, usually. Creating a vampire, not always successful.
Not always.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't talk about the horrible deaths that sometimes people encounter while attempting to transform into undead. That happens.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I was just curious out of game. My character probably would know in game a little bit more.
Yeah. Feed a little blood to anything, and it becomes a ghoul, at least temporarily. The longer it has that blood, the longer it's a ghoul. The problem with ghouls is if they are beyond their natural date and stop getting blood, they age and die very quickly. But if a whatever it is loses the blood for a while, you know, it'll be fine. If it wasn't so old.
Okay.
You know, if it's within its natural age. But it probably
How
won't.
much influence would we have over a ghoul gorilla?
Oh, well, same pretty much you have as any ghouled animal. They're, generally speaking, loyal to the person that created them, as long as you can, like, you know, yeah.
I'll be on. It'll probably have to be me because I also have animalism.
Ghouled animals tend to grow larger and mutate, they mention. Kind of almost a horrifying parody of their original creatures. In addition, they develop a taste for blood regardless of their original diets. Oh, yeah, I forgot that Wick and the alligator were probably drinking blood and eating things for more of their blood. You had a blood-drinking rat.
Sense.
Mm-hmm.
Who has tiny knives and a claw.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. And how long does that take?
You just have to give it some of your blood. Like, give it a blood point. There you go.
Interesting. All right. Can you look into what it would take to or rather, can you look into what groups or companies the zoo might call to take care of a rabid, feral, or otherwise crazy gorilla?
Yeah, I look into that.
Okay. Oh, God.
Just make something up.
Medicine intelligence, you know. We'll say that.
Okay. Oh, cool. I actually have some dots in medicine.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Oh, right. I had it in my mind that I took some basic CPR type courses.
There you go.
Let's see. What? I still have to write out my backstory. I should do this point. Wits plus medicine, you said, or?
I just said intelligence medicine. Yeah.
Oh, intelligence. Intelligence is better anyway. Sim, where are you? There you are. And difficulty?
Seven. Yeah. 2.
Man, I'm rolling
Okay.
pretty good today.
So, what exactly the information you're looking for? What's the exact bits of information? Just
basically, what has to happen with the gorilla for someone like, you know, for someone to be called in, and like, you know, what it would take for euthanization to have to occur. You know what I'm trying to say? Euthanasia to occur.
For euthanasia to occur, it has to have some kind of critical medical condition that would be life-threatening and or debilitating to its general well-being. If it's something that, you know, it's how much can it live with the problem that it has. If it's a critical enough problem, then euthanasia can occur. For someone to be called in would be difficult. The zoo itself will have a team of medical specialists that are directly dealing with it, plus probably connections to a major veterinary hospital, whether it's directly on the site or nearby to the site that it works directly with the zoo. Remember, they have a lot of animals, so they probably have their own basic veterinary hospital for these animals that are trained for it.
Oh, of course.
So let me ask this: who would they call, or overnight when there are only 4 security guards? Who would they call for a gorilla?
They probably have more than just the 4 security guards on site. Is the problem though? They probably have a number
They
of
also
people.
they probably also have on-call vets, like people. It's kind of like.
And probably
Yes.
some staff that work overnight too. People watching,
Sure.
checking on animals, taking care of some work at night too.
And so the question is, who is the one they would call for the gorilla specifically if none of the ones there could take care of it?
Probably one of the main vets they would call.
And right, and I'm trying to figure out which one because I can impersonate them.
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm going to say you can get a list of the vets that are there, but whether or not that's the one that's going to be called, you're not sure. It looks like they have
employees, but
they have like
more.
3 main vets, so it's hard to say which one would be called, unless something was going on that would draw one to one of the names. It might just be like there might be a system in place for calling them, but you'd have to get into their site to figure out that system. It might say like each of them is on call at different nights. You don't know, just because that's like something that's not listed anywhere you can easily find online or anything.
I'm gonna look to see because we're going for the old one, right?
Think that's what you're saying?
Right?
Are we going
I'm
for the
asking
old one?
Nathan.
Because
We could go for one of the, what are the ages of the other ones? Can we figure that out?
Sure. I actually can let you know. One's 16, one's 21, one's 32. I don't know one of them. They don't give me because they mention another one. And then the new male which showed up recently this year is 14.
what I'm
The
thinking
current
is
silverback. Yeah.
someone sneaks in there and ghouls one of the gorillas, and then leaves. This gorilla will then develop a taste for blood, and presumably attack other gorillas in the cage, in addition to growing monstrous and becoming somewhat deformed. They will then call in the vet to see what is wrong with it. We replace the vet, go in and say, oh, this is, and explain some unusual disease, which I'm sure we can find online somewhere, or you can, and say that it has to be put down. We will call in someone that we know and have them take out the ghoul and dispose of it.
Much better than my plan.
Yeah, so the one that's at age 32, right, you said 32 or 30?
The next oldest, I
32.
believe.
Yeah, 32.
Yeah, that one could be. Gorillas live about 35 to 40 years. It'd be a little young, but if something is wrong with it, it would make a little more sense.
Alternatively, we could go after the new male and explain that it's a disease that he must have encountered in transit.
Possible.
Also, that would be presumably the least likely to be able to kill all of the other gorillas, leaving the zoo
depends
with
on if-
gorillas.
Yes, it's also possible, though, that I would probably just do a quick search. Is the gorilla rented? Or because or sometimes gorilla animals will be borrowed for breeding purposes or other types of purposes, or is it actually a new addition?
They moved the zoos around. The old silverback was transferred to a different zoo, and he was brought in to replace him as the leader of the troop.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
I don't know where Sarbrucken is, but that's where the old silverback was sent to.
Okay. So yeah, we could do something like that.
Starbrücken has its own zoo. There you go. Wherever Starbrücken, Germany is, they sent the other silverback to that one.
Yeah. So basically, they traded. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to make sure it wasn't like a. You know what I mean, like where it's like sometimes they trade rather than like temporarily. Because you don't want to kill, because then that complicates it for the zoo, which may cause people to look into it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Very well, we could do that as well. I'd probably say one of those two options is the best. Either the oldest one that's not the
That's not the
record
oldest
holder. Yeah. The second oldest or the newbie are probably the two best to target.
All right. Sounds good. So I'm trying to remember what the time limit was.
You weren't really given much of a time limit. It was just like,
Okay.
sooner the better at this point in time. It's sort of like,
Sure. We don't want to be here longer than necessary.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well then, it seems we might need to get in there to learn a little bit more about their staff and their security systems before we do the job, so to speak.
I have a general idea of their security systems, but to know more, I'd have to get in there myself.
That is exactly what I'm saying. Surreptitiously. What would you require to get into their systems?
Probably need to get into their security office and or their database, which actually may or may not be held on site. Security office almost certainly is, but the database, well, actually that could be as simple as finding someone who, getting someone's passwords. So, any of you are good at some vampires can hypnotize and get information out of people, so...
Can't hypnotize. I can effectively be invisible and watch someone while they type it.
And I can open the door.
That could work. If you get me a username and password, I can basically get into their whole system.
All right.
Okay. So you have a plan, and we'll start to enact your new plan after our break. So, we're going to take a quick break now. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. If you need to go to the bathroom, grab a drink, grab a snack, anything like that, go ahead and do it. And then we'll be returning shortly to continue with the plan and trying to get a gorilla. So,
Yay!
see you in a second, folks.
Indeed.